New passengers, we welcome you aboard our Highway in the Sky and hope you've enjoyed the Magic Kingdom. We're traveling to Disney's...
Hey.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Sign up behind that person, allowing them to lead the group through the gates at the end of the round.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. Before you begin your trip, please know that the unpaved roads of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve
Comfortable. Alright, on the right, please watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Doors will be closing. Asante Sawar. Alright, everyone, twin day. That means let's go. Ciao, everyone. My name is Tyler. Going to be taking you on your safari. Before we enter the reserve, make sure to keep those face coverings on throughout the entire safari. Make sure to covering the nose and the mouth. That's be for your safety and health, well, safety and health of those around you. Also remember to remain fully seated throughout the entire safari with your feet, arms, legs inside at all times. And while the vehicle is stopped, there is still no standing allowed, even to switch seats. Children are allowed to sit on a parent's lap to get a better view, however, though they must remain fully seated on a parent's lap. That means no standing on your lap, no holding a child up, especially like Simba. And please, no passing children around. So parents, please supervise children. They must remain fully seated, either on a seat or on a lap, and it's going to be for your child's safety. All right, friends, we're entering the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. The very first stop is going to be the Lilitori Forest. Now, first over there on our left, you see the sow-bill stork. They will reach up to around 5 feet tall. They do not vocalize. Instead, they'll ruffle their beaks to communicate with each other. Pretty solitary animals, however, though, that once they find a mate, that mate's going to be for life. Also on the right, you see the okapis. At first, it looks like they're part of the zebra family with those hind legs being striped. However, though, they're not. They're actually part of the giraffe family, only living relatives of the giraffe. See a similar skull. They even have a long prehensile tongue just like a giraffe does as well. Now, they are very reclusive animals. So reclusive, they were not discovered by Westerners until the year 1901. For a long time being thought that's only an African legend. On our left, you can see bongos. Bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest due to their ability to hide very, very well deep inside the forest. Both males and females have the long horns pointed backwards, helping get through the bushes and leaves a lot more easily. Long horns reach up to around 36 inches long. Now, bongos are matriarch families, so it's going to be the ladies leading the way with usually only one younger male with them. Bongos are also one of the larger forest antelopes. Males able to weigh up to around 900 pounds. Over there on our left, friends, over by the ledge, you can see the black rhinoceros. It will weigh up to around 3,000 pounds. They can charge up to around 35 miles per hour. They have a triangular prehensile upper lip, which helps them scoop up their food. Unfortunately, right now, there's only less than 5,000 left in the world due to the only predator humans poaching for those horns, which are made of keratin, the same material as our fingernails and our hair. Unfortunately, people believe their horns contain medical properties, which is not the case. But there are programs educating people about rhino horns. Hopefully, by educating others, we can help eliminate the poaching of rhinos. Now, hiding in the bushes over there, you can see the greater kudu. You can tell she's a female since she has no horns on her head. Male's horns reach up to 71 inches long and are spiral. They do have the amazing leaping ability, able to leap 8 feet in the air despite being weighed up to around 700 pounds. Bear kudus are also one of the taller forest antelopes. With males, they reach up to around 55 inches at the shoulders. Alright folks, we are out of the little Torrey Forest in just a moment. Going to be entering the Safi River. Once we get to the Safi River, let's keep our eyes open in the water, see if we can find any animals in or around the river. And oh my goodness, friends, up ahead on our right, see a Nile hippopotamus. It will weigh up to around 5,500 pounds. They can charge up to around 20 miles per hour. Despite having a large jaws and big sharp teeth, they are vegetarians. They just have to be very, very territorial. They can actually open up their mouth almost 180-degree angle. Now, hippos will usually spend most of their day in the water resting. Sometimes they'll head out though for grab some snacks or to sunbathe. Once it becomes nighttime though, they'll travel around 6 miles on land to eat up to 150 pounds worth of food. They are nocturnal animals. Hippos are very excellent swimmers. However, though they prefer not to swim, usually they'll sink down to the bottom of the water and start walking. Hippos can actually stay underwater for up to 8 minutes at a time, filling up for only a short amount of time for air. Even while they're sleeping underwater, their body will automatically come up for the oxygen that they need. Also over there on our left, you can see the pod of pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from the pink colorization they get during main season. They can also have a 9-foot wingspan. They can weigh up to around 15 pounds, making them one of the smallest pelicans in the world. Not have vultures around here. Not part of the reserve, but they do serve a very important part of the ecosystem. Over there on our left, you can see the Nile crocodiles, one of the longer animals here in the reserve, at around 20 feet long, pretty much as tall as a giraffe is. They can sit in the water for up to 2 hours at a time. Sometimes you see them with their mouth wide open, and when they do that, they're usually laying out hot air, which helps keep themselves cool. One of the ways to regulate the body temperature since they're cold ones. Now, crocodiles weigh well over 500 pounds and are often seen as mindless eating machines. However, though, there's more to them than that. They're actually very protective parents. Whenever they sense dangers around, they're going to hide the little ones in their mouth to make sure that the kids are safe. You'll even do that for their eggs as well. So now we have made our way out to the Safi River, and I'm going to head on over to the Savannah, longest part of the reserve, as well as my personal favorite. Now I'm going to be up ahead on our right in just a moment. Going to be able to see a baobab tree, which is also known as an upside-down tree due to its branches looking like roots. It can remain leafless for up to around 9 months of the year due to its ability to store over 20 water inside its large, solid trunk, soaking water like a sponge. During drought seasons, larger animals such as an elephant will break into the baobab tree to get to the water inside. Giving the baobab tree another nickname, the Tree of Life. Baobab trees can also live to be over 2,000 years old. Do make sure we have the face covering and nostrils for me there, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, here we are at the Serengeti grasslands of the Savannah. It's very beautiful to look at least in my opinion. Especially since animals make it that way. Animals here make up a very important part of the ecosystem. The giraffes will eat the leaves on the trees, keeping them nice and trim. Elephants will knock down trees, making more room for animals to wander more freely. And the antelopes will eat the grass, keep it nice and low, except for tall patches of grass. Leave that alone on purpose, gives them a place to hide from predators whenever danger's around. First on the right, you can see the Hartman Mountain zebras. Here are black with white stripes, as you can tell by the nose. Every pattern is unique to each one, just like your very own fingerprints. You can also see the Maasai giraffes. You see a whole group of them there. A group of giraffes is called the Tower, which is a very appropriate name since they are the tallest animals in the world, able to reach up to around 20 feet tall and can weigh up to around 2,500 pounds. Now, if you look carefully at the giraffe's patterns on their coat, you'll see that the patterns are jagged around the edges. That's one of the ways you can tell that they're Maasai giraffes, not the reticulated giraffes you see on an animal spine guide. Over on our left, you can see the African painted dogs. They are adorable, and they're also the most successful predators here in Africa. More successful than lions, cheetahs, or hyenas, hunting in packs and chasing their prey to the point of exhaustion. Share their food evenly with everyone, just like one big happy family, especially taking care of their young and their elderly. Unfortunately, right now, there is only less than 7,000 left, mostly due to roadside accidents, poaching, and snares, but there are programs helping them out. One program is taking out snares and turning those snares into artwork, which is sold online. Money made from the artwork is put towards painted dog conservation. It's a really neat project. Also over there on our left, first you can see the sable antelopes back there. They can have those 5-foot long horns, which protects themselves against predators, as well as the far of a fellow antelope, sometimes swimming for a mate. Males coat will get darker, more mature they become, eventually turning jet black. Now, of course, you can also see the white-bearded wildebeest. They are also known as gnu, spelled GNU, named after the sound that they make, gnu. There to be thousands, if not a million, in just one herd. In fact, they're the second most densely populated animal in the world, right behind the seamans. You see the termite mounds around us. It takes termites around 4 to 5 years to make them. Made out of dirt, dung, and saliva, the sun will heat them up to make them almost as hard as concrete. Larger animals, such as a giraffe, will use them as a place to scratch and itch. Once they're worn down, smaller animals, such as the antelopes, use them as a lookout push for predators. On our left, you can see the baby giraffes over there. When giraffes are first born, reach up to around 6 feet tall. It can weigh as much as 150 pounds. They can also learn to walk within the very first hour of their life. The mom giraffe does not make the birth process easy for the baby because they give birth standing up. So a baby giraffe has a 6-foot drop to look forward to when they're first being born. Now those giraffes, they really love to eat. In fact, they're usually eating 20 hours of the day, using their long prehensile tongue to grip those hard to reach leaves. That tongue can reach up to 18 inches long, and it's a dark purplish hue to make sure their tongue won't get sunburned, especially since they're eating so much. Over there on the right, you see the Hartman mountain zebras again. Underneath the neck, you see a little extra flap of skin. That's called a dewlap. They got blood vessels in there, which help keep themselves cool. They're the only zebras that have a dewlap. Also on the right, you see the springboks, only 3 feet tall at the shoulders to get their name from their ability to spring 6 feet in the air repeatedly when alarmed. That is called pronking. While running forward, they can jump up to 13 feet, and they can even run up to high speeds of 55 miles per hour, making them the 3rd fastest land animal in the world. Springboks are also the national animal of South Africa. You can usually see them featured on South African sports team logos, such as the rugby team. Now over there on the right, all the way at the top of the hill, there you can see the Ankole cow, which are also known as Watusi cow. Only domesticated animals in the savannah. Large horns on their head can reach up to 6 feet long, can be 20 inches around, but the horns are a lot lighter than you would think due to the honeycomb filling. They also have blood vessels in those horns, which help keep themselves cool, though to regulate the body temperature through their stomach. And yes, they are part of the bovine family, so they are related to the domesticated cows. They move just like them. Alright folks, here are a lot of the giraffes here to cross the road. Also a little bit of a giraffe exam. Now giraffes are big-hearted animals. I just mean that metaphorically, but I also mean that literally. A giraffe's heart can be 2 feet long. They weigh up to around 25 pounds, giving them the highest blood pressure of any animal in the world. Because of the giraffe's high blood pressure, they'll usually only sleep around 30 minutes throughout the entire day. Taking small naps here and there, they'll sleep standing up, so that way they won't become vulnerable to predators. Oh, look, another baby giraffe. Only a few months old. Also up there on that hill, you can see the Paris Nilas. They are the largest antelopes here in reserve. Males can reach up to around 6 feet tall at the shoulders. You go ahead to around 2,000 pounds. Despite being able to weigh so much, they can jump 8 feet in the air just from a stand position. They can also go up to weeks, if not a whole month, without drinking any water, due to their ability to take in the moisture from some of the food that they eat. Now up ahead, going to be on our right in just a moment, we're going to be able to see an African elephant. I tell you he's an African elephant, not just because we're in Africa, but also the ears are in the shape of the continent of Africa. They also have blood vessels in their ears, so whenever they wave those ears, it gets the blood flow, which helps keep themselves cool. Now you can tell he's a male elephant since he is all by himself. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, because over there on our left you see the mandrills back there. They're the world's largest monkeys, with males have a weight up to around 100 pounds. And they have a red and blue coloring on their face that gets brighter, more excited to become. The brighter the male's face is, the more dominant he is. They also have pouches in their cheeks which help them store food for later, such as nuts and berries and all that good stuff. Now going back to what I was saying about the African elephant, you can tell he's a male elephant since he is all by himself. Once males reach a certain age, around 13 to 15 years old, they'll leave the herd voluntarily or involuntarily, while the females will take care of the young and run the herd. Now male elephants don't always end up alone. Sometimes they'll find other male elephants and form their own bachelor party. In fact, to be up to around 145 male elephants in just one group. And it won't stay too far away from the female herd because they want to be close by for when it becomes main season. So let's see if we try and find a female herd around here. I think that'd be really neat. Yeah, please do make sure that the face covering is covering nose and nostrils. Thank you so much. So now we're out of, now we have made our way over the bridge. So we can find this way. I do see footprints up ahead. Oh, it's Tusk Marsh on the right hand side of that clay formation. Elephants do like to get that clay for the extra minerals they might not get during their daily diet. Now, elephants for a while were a huge problem for farmers here in Africa, eating and stomping on the crops. Now, the farmers, of course, had to protect their livelihood, but at the same time, they do not want to hurt the elephants. So eventually, the farmers ended up working with Disney's Animal Kingdom, all the way in Florida. And researchers at Animal Kingdom found out through studying the elephants' vocal patterns that elephants are afraid of bees. That's right, bees. And once they found that out, they put beehives around farmlands, kept elephants away in a safe manner, providing farmers with another source of income of honey. Also helps out the bee population as well, which is very important for the ecosystem. Unfortunately, elephants are losing a lot of land here in Africa, not just from farming, but also mining for metallics, such as ores, which we found in our very own electronic devices, such as our cell phones. However, though, we can help out the elephants by simply recycling those old electronic devices, or maybe give them to a friend or a relative. Anything but throwing them away, cash up reduce the mining here in Africa. Help give the big guys their land back. Every little bit can help make a huge difference for them. Now up on our left in just a moment, we'll be able to see a flamboyance of rare flamingos. They're the latest pink of the flamingos, as you can tell by some of the younger ones there. Haven't quite reached a year old yet, but they're almost as big as their parents already. Now they won't turn fully pink until they're a year and a half old, and they'll get that pink colorization through their daily diet of fried shrimp. Now they are the largest of the flamingos, hence their name rare flamingos. They reach up to around 5 feet tall and can weigh as much as 9 pounds. Now sometimes you'll see the flamingos standing on just one leg. A lot of people wonder why they do that. To be honest with you, scientists are wondering the same thing. There are a few theories going around, the most prominent one being for insulation purposes, but nothing's been proven 100% factual yet. Now up ahead, folks, going to be on our left in just a moment. You'll be able to see southern white rhinos, and one thing you'll notice, they're not actually white. They got their name from the word white, which means wine. It describes their mouth. They have a more squarish mouth than black rhinos do. They're also a lot more social, hanging out in larger groups. A group of rhinos is called a crash. Now, southern white rhinos can weigh up to around 5,000 pounds, but are deceivingly quick, able to charge up to around 35 miles per hour. See, the rhinos really like to roll around in the mud, helps keep themselves cool. It also adds an extra layer to their skin for when they're being attacked by bugs. Look, you can see another one over there on the right. Now, if you watch the ears carefully, you'll notice the ears move around a little bit because rhinos have very poor eyesight. So they rely heavily on their very sensitive hearing to help them navigate. And they will also rely heavily on their very sensitive sense of smell, using both of those senses as a form of radar. Now, rhinos are not very active animals, pretty much lay around most of the day, but they will wander around for food, water, better shade, and also some places scratch and itch. Now, rhinos are often portrayed as being pretty aggressive animals in most views. However, though, white rhinos are pretty big sweethearts, even when they're trying to show their dominance. They don't have a dominance display and very rarely ends in violence. Alright, folks, we're coming up to the Kopi Rock Formation, which is the kind of place that predators like to hang around. Get a better view of potential prey on here in Savannah. Kind of like Pride Rock from The Lion King. Now, speaking about Lion King, the Swahili name for a lion is actually Simba, believe it or not. If you have any wilderness explorers on board, you are aboard Simba 1. That's going to be page 15 of your book. Now, up ahead, folks, on our right, you'll be able to see a bont bug laying down over there. Very lucky to see a bont bug because for a while they were thought to be completely extinct due to poaching of those beautiful coats. But luckily in the early 20th century, a farmer found 17 of them and was able to save them. Now today they're thriving in conservations and reserves, growing in numbers, little by little returning back to the wild. I'll see the scimitar and horned oryxes over there as well. They go up to a whole 9 months without drinking any water due to their ability to have a high body temperature. In fact, they can reach up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit without breaking a sweat. On our left, you can see the lion laying around over there. You can tell they really like their cat naps. They're usually inactive 16 to 20 hours of the day, usually hunting at night due to their excellent night vision. Their night vision is 6 times better than the average man. Now, the female lions are the ones that will do most of the hunting, while the males will usually stay home and protect the territory and the pride. The female lions will hunt collectively with each other, bring food back home to the pride so everyone can have a feast. One of the few predators will share their food like that. Over on our left, you can see a warhog wandering around over there. Warhogs are the world's largest burrowing animal. They will weigh up to around 300 pounds. Use their tusks and their front hooves up and dig into the earth. Now, they are very intelligent animals. However, they go into those burrows and back right in there. Now we can use those razor-sharp tusks to protect themselves against predators. You can also choose whether they want to be daytime animals or nocturnal animals, depending on what the needs are. See another rhino over there on the right. Also over there on the right, you can see the ostrich eggs, world's largest bird eggs. Each egg weighs up to around 3 pounds and is strong enough for a full-grown man to stay on top of the eggs without them cracking under pressure. One ostrich egg is the equivalent of 2 dozen chicken eggs. Now over there on the right, you can see the ostrich eggs. So, as you can see, ostriches, fully grown ostriches, will reach up to around 9 feet tall, weigh over 300 pounds. So they are flightless. They can run up to 40 miles per hour using their wings to help them change direction. Now you can tell they're female ostriches since they have gray feathers. Male ostriches will have black feathers. However, though the most dominant female ostrich will have darker feathers than the other females to show her dominance. Alright folks, we have left the savannah and now we're coming up to the Warren's Post, which means we're getting close to civilization. Now before we head back to civilization though, we're going to be able to see Nigerian dwarf goats, which are taken care of by the warden and the staff. See them over there on our left. Now they may look like kids, however though they are fully grown adults, that's as big as they're going to get. They produce a very sweet and delicious milk that's distributed to the villagers, as well as sold by the villagers to help out their economy. Also because of the Nigerian dwarf goats, the villagers rely a lot less on local wildlife for their needs. So they're a very big help to the wildlife around here. Now it's always great to see humans and animals working together. In fact, that's what Harambe is all about. Harambe literally means to work together. Unfortunately, a lot of the animals that we saw here today are in danger. Some are even close to extinction. However, we do our part to help protect them by talking to our local conservations, such as the Disney's Conservation Fund, which is helping animals in over 150 countries around the world. And you can donate money to any of the marketplaces here in Harambe and other parts of Disney's Animal Camp to help protect the beautiful animals. In fact, Disney will match every dollar that you donate, and you get a commemorative bundle as well. You can also talk to anyone from animal programs for advice on how to help out animals in other ways. They can be found wherever animals can be found, such as Grill Falls Exploration Trip or Finky's Skywalk. Both places are really cool, and I highly recommend checking them out. Now remember, Wilderness Explorers, you are aboard Symbol 1 SIMBA. That's number 1 is to be page 15 of the boat, gets badged over by the entrance of Kilimanjaro Safari. Now remember, Wilderness Explorers, you are aboard Symbol 1 SIMBA. Then number 1 is to be page 15 of your boat, get your badge over by the entrance of Kilimanjaro Safari. Now here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. Goodbye is too sad to final, and I don't want to see you all again. So instead, we prefer to say Kwaherini, which means to go well. Alright everyone, we should be able to dock in just a moment. Make sure you double check those pockets and rows before you leave. Please don't leave any valuables behind. Also, please don't leave any trash behind either. There is going to be a trash bin or recycling at the dock. You throw it over quick.